Yo, yo, Debo.
Man, it feel like it's been a while.
Man, I feel like it has. I think it's been a month.
Oh man. In a non-defense, we just talked about being non-defensive when or admitting fault when being defensive. Anyways, I tried to make sure that there was no gap between today and a month ago, and I want to say, I want to say I give it my all, but I gave it something. I gave it the
Well,
old
it wasn't all on you. It was it
right.
was
Well,
it was vacation month.
yeah,
I happen to be gone.
this is
You
true.
happen to be gone. Who knows what G was doing?
G would someone called him and he didn't ask no questions and he just went and he was like, "Is
Yeah,
a friend called me, Dwayne?" Okay, well, make sure you ain't got no baby in the back, and then do what you got to do,
yeah.
man. So yeah, G's doing but there was a couple times where it had nothing to do with everybody was trying to make the appointment and technology wouldn't work or one thing or another, but yeah, we tried.
I mean, I think it's fine when we do one road show. One person's on a road show. You put all of us on a road show, and it gets a little interesting.
Gets a little roady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, how was your happy birthday? You're a
Thank
new
you,
man.
sir.
You're a new man today than you were
I'm a
yesterday.
man.
You left here a younger man. You show up today a grown man.
That's right.
And so welcome to the club. Welcome to the we did it club of folks who have aged in life. Happy birthday.
Man, I've been trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for my midlife crisis. I haven't picked it out yet. I don't want a new car.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know what else to do.
Have
Maybe
have you determined what the midlife crisis is or how that affects a person or kind of what it even is, the midlife crisis? Have you even
no, I
determined
just feel like it should happen around 40. It seems like when
okay.
we were growing up and you
Right.
watch TV
Is what
and
the
they'd have that one episode on the sitcom
right.
dedicated to it.
To the
It was
right.
always around 40s, it
Right.
felt like.
Yeah. I think I've had mine. But then I had to really dig deep into like what is it really? Like what is a midlife crisis? Well, if you break it down, okay, it is a crisis that happens in your midlife. They've already decided that it can't be an early life crisis or a
Right.
late life crisis. They say this
I
has
think
this,
I had a lot of early life
right. This
crises
is
too.
yeah. This is had some problems, y'all. But no, I mean like so they say this crisis has to happen in your midlife because now you're old enough and you're not going to get any smarter. That's what they're saying, And so when
Well,
the
I think a convergence of things, right?
right,
You now have the amount of intelligence necessary
right,
to, live out the rest of your life.
right, and
But
then
it's also converging at the point where you should, not maybe not our generation, but previous generations, you should have the financial means to do whatever.
maybe, yeah, there's a possibility in there. Yeah, okay,
So it's you both have the wisdom and experience. You also have the financial means to, the stereotypical midlife crisis is like go out buy a sports car or something.
right, okay,
So,
but
I
like,
couldn't do that in my 20s much as I wanted to.
but I mean, but the problem, the thing is that okay, you're talking about the the result of what is this? Oh, this is the result. But the midlife crisis is a thing that happens. Like you got to stub your toe, and you be like, "Oh man, damn it, I'm buying a Ferrari." That's what the midlife crisis is because I've talked with some people, and I feel like I said, I feel like I've gone through mine. It's the toe stubbing that is the real stuff because it's the toe stubbing that you stub your toe when you're a kid. Someone says it's all right, you're like, oh. It's all right. You're like, yeah. Oh, it's fine. You stub your toe as an adult. You're like, this is gonna hurt for about 5 minutes, and no one can tell me different. I know this thing is gonna hurt for 5 minutes, and I'm just gonna sit here and
And it's
try.
not all right, okay?
It's not all right, and I'm gonna try not to cry in front of people that don't know that haven't seen me cry. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that for a while.
Yeah.
5 minutes, go. Okay, it's just a different. The crisis is different when you stub your toe, and you know it's gonna hurt. And I would say the same for a crisis in life when you're older, and then you try to cover it up. You're talking about the result, the Ferrari. with something. You okay? Well,
Right.
so she left me. Yeah. Well, house over here in Jersey. I'm just gonna buy one. Or,
Yeah.
this will happen. All right. Well, then I guess we're just buying Ferraris. What we're doing. Whatever your
Well, so isn't the midlife crisis when you realize that that's it? You're not young anymore. You're not going to
no,
be young anymore. You're
no.
never going to be young again.
No, see, that's just it. And see, what you looked at your whole life was the result. Welcome to the club, by the way. What
Thank
you've
you.
looked at, what you've looked at in your whole life is the result. You've said, "I've seen these people go through midlife crisis." You didn't realize that you seen people try to fix their midlife crisis
Right.
with a toy or a thing or a new idea. But the truth of the matter is, something happened. Like something, a bridge fell in their life that was holding them up, and they thought, oh my gosh, and they fell really hard and they hurt themselves really hard, and man, I haven't felt like this before. Someone was always holding me up at this point in life, or she was always there, or whatever it is. And then I got to feel better. And they just click. They use a credit card. They
I
use
mean, this Corvette
yes,
Band-Aid.
there you go. So be on the lookout, dude. Put some money away.
Yeah.
And just have some. Have an out. As we say here. Have an out. Just be like, okay, I got my midlife crisis set up. Really? No, I'm ready though. Okay, I got a trip. I got a ticket. It's not gonna cost me anything. Whenever I'm ready to just be really mad and hurt in my midlife. I got a
Got
ticket.
an airline voucher.
Yeah.
I got a go bag pass.
I got a black book with 3 names in it. All of them said call me for it. 2 females and 1 dude. I don't even know. I mean, I'm ready.
You got to be ready for anything.
Exactly. And then that way, when the crisis hits, man, you just pull the plug, pull the chute, and go do it. As you things you learn as you grow. Things you learn as you grow and as you go. Where did you go on vacation, dude?
Went to Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston. All right, there we go. What did you see over there in Boston? Bostonians?
A lot of massholes, I believe. Is what they're called. Yeah.
Straight.
I'm not even making that up. That's
I
really what they're called.
I read that in a book. It was okay.
I read that somewhere. So I went to the primary reason I wanted to go is I wanted to go watch a Red Sox game at Fenway Park.
Okay.
It's the oldest baseball stadium that they still use.
Okay.
A lot of history there. So,
didn't know that. That's good.
People like Babe Ruth played there.
Wow.
So yeah, you think about that.
Yeah.
Like Larry Doby played there. Ted Williams, all just people littered through the history books of baseball. So we had front row seats.
Wow.
Put my midlife crisis fund down on it and paid for those front row seats.
He was like, honey, what? Hit me. Yeah. And I don't take that shit no more. We going to the game.
Yeah, exactly. So it was cool. It walked around the stadium, went to the Green Monster. I bought my thing anytime I go to a new baseball stadium, not that I've been to, a lot, but probably 10 in my life
but now it's definitely your thing.
But now it's definitely my thing. I always get a hot dog.
Okay.
It's a baseball game. You gotta see what they're offering hot dog wise. Because we grew up Dodger Stadium, got the Dodger dog.
Right.
Angel Stadium, they got their whole thing.
You
never had a Dodger dog?
I've had a Dodger dog. I went to a Dodger game and I dodged out because someone bought me a lawyer guy gave me solid seats with with the third base line. It was the clubhouse. So we dodged out. We went and dodged up I had the Dodger dog. It was a good time. But it confused me for a second because I was like, Angels don't have a dog.
They got a dog. They just don't call it an angel dog.
I mean, true. Angel fan forever, okay? But we need a better name for our dog. I'm just trying to say.
We need a better name for our dog.
I just left Alaska and they at least called it a reindeer dog.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of fucked up. I got kids, man, and they're like, "Daddy."
You got to explain to them.
It's marketing, sweetheart. And
listen, these are reindeers who Santa fired.
It didn't.
So this is why you got to listen and be good.
No, oh no! It didn't
or
help.
You end up a child dog.
Yeah, right. Oh God. Back to the Green Monster.
I yelled at our dog. My partner and I. We have a dog, an actual dog, a terrier. And he couldn't find. She dropped some chicken on the floor, and trying to tell him to get it. and he couldn't find it. He's like right there, just missing it. And I said something like follow your nose or something.
Uh-huh.
And she just looked at me and she's like, I know you would use that exact same tone if we had children, and it's not right. And I was like, well,
But it's
first of all,
dog.
it's a
It's
dog.
dog. It's
It's a
fine.
dog.
It's dog.
Also, as soon as I said that, he found the chicken. So it worked. But yeah, so my parenting skills have come into question. But anyway,
Back to the Green
back to
Monster.
Boston.
Yeah.
So I order,
Boston. All right,
they
got it.
call it a frank, which
Oh,
is fine.
nice. Okay. I'm all. I think
So I
that's.
order a regular frank,
There you go.
and it comes a hot dog on a piece of white bread, not a bun, a slice of white
That's
bread
solid.
on a dog,
Yeah.
and then it was wrapped in paper,
As you do.
and they handed it to me.
That's right.
And I was like, "This is why I get a dog. This is why I do this.
That's why I
'Cause
do.
you gotta figure out what the culture, the local
Yeah.
thing is."
Yeah, you got to do it at the. And so you know what? At the next stadium, I'm gonna steal your thing. I'm gonna do your thing. I'm gonna get a dog. And I cringed a little bit because I know your medical history, and so dogs to you is not really top 10 things that the dude should be putting in them. But
My doctor would not recommend it.
right, yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh, dogs. You wanted that to be your thing? Like you could have chose stickers, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's shot glasses. There's so many, but hot dogs is what you, all right, I like my man. He likes craps. All right, let's go for it,
Hey, man. So you got to do what you got to do sometimes. We took Boston's a great city. It's walkable. You can walk all over it. Obviously, it's old. It's one of the older cities we have in the country. A lot of history.
They have
got the Freedom Trail.
Trails. Yeah, I was just say you get the trail out there. Did you feel free out there on the trail?
So we were actually staying right near the picture I showed you of the Freedom Trail.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And so I would walk down that every day to either get to the train stop or get to wherever I was going. And it didn't matter what time of day, or maybe I was just on the same schedule.
Uh-huh.
Every time I walked down there, they were doing like this Paul Revere tour. And this dude's all dressed up as Paul Revere, and then you just see, a bunch of tourists following him around.
Uh-huh.
So, no, I didn't feel free because I saw this old white dude in his coat and stuff, riding a horse, and I was just like, oh, I feel like I should probably run at this point.
That's funny.
But yeah, it was cool. I got a picture of the statue of Bill Russell, Boston Celtics legend. Got a picture with I don't know, a lot of old statues of white slave owners. It's like trading cards for slave owners.
Messed up. I intend to go to Mississippi one day. Side note, on a trip, so that'll be a fun segue to that. We'll see what kind of trading cards they have down there. So okay, Boston.
I went to one more.
Okay,
and I went to Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Do you remember why Salem's a thing? Does that ring a bell to you?
It does, but here's what I was tripping on, is because I believe on my trip there's a Salem, Oregon.
There's a Salem, Oregon.
So I passed by Salem too, and so at that moment I remember a text message we had gone through. You said something about Salem, and I recognized that. Wait a second, there's more than one Salem. So then it made me go, wait a second, I'm assuming your Salem, given that its history is older than my Salem, was the original Salem. But then I'm assuming the witching in the Salem, I saw the Disney movie with the three, witches and the two kids, like the gingerbread men story. But anyways, that's another story. Is that the same? Am I right? Am I on the witching Salem?
You got it exactly.
Okay. All right.
The Salem witch trials were in Massachusetts, not Oregon.
Okay, right.
And they burned a bunch of women. Really, in the 1600s, I'm sure they had their reasons. But when we look back at it now, we're like, are
you trying to give Are you giving the 1600s a pass? You're like, the 1600s.
They weren't in the 1600s. They weren't like, fuck it, let's just burn some bitches.
Right.
They actually had reasoning. But when you look back at it,
right.
But when you look back at it now,
right.
400 years later, you're like, man, you were just trying to burn some bitches. Like, it didn't matter.
No.
If they admitted to being witches,
right,
you got burned.
Right.
if you didn't admit to being a witch,
Right.
you got burned because you
To
didn't
see, we
admit
had
to
we
being
had
a
to see, we had to
witch.
see if you ever witch. We had to make sure. Right.
Like, what do you? So I'm literally burned if I do, burned if I don't.
Right. It was and obviously to me, I mean, I'm probably completely wrong, but to me, it was you have to walk the line that we're going to present to you. If you step off the line, you're a witch, and it was a way to keep people in control, and I think that probably succeeded for a while. For
Yeah.
and it's a sad sad
I
story.
feel like we're getting close to vaccination witch trials.
Let's save that for the
2020.
yeah. Let's save that for the soup of the day. We still didn't get G in here with us, and I'm thinking he's probably going to come at some point. Oh, that's the wrong. That's the high one. There we go. That's the one I was trying to get to.
There you go.
That's the one. But it looks like let's go ahead and slide over here to the soup. That's the soup music. Always puts me in a good mood when I hear this song because I know whatever's coming. It's part of the soup, man. And it could go either way. Okay, Debo's been on vacation, dude. Are we
gonna talk about your vacation? We got a whole segment dedicated to that later. What are we gonna do?
I do.
I don't want to spoil the soup.
No, I tell you what. We'll do It's Lit. What are you smoking at the end? And I'll let you ask me some true or false, and we'll see if we can get some truth out of the 26-day tour. So let's get to the soup, man. Let's jump into this thing.
We got soup of August. Like we got a whole month of soup.
Throw some tomatoes in that bad boy, some potatoes, stir this pot.
Celery, you got to get celery.
And a little bit of.
Do you say celery? How do you say that word? How do you say
celery?
That vegetable?
Celery.
All right.
All right.
I say celery.
In traveling, people do talk differently about a lot of things. So celery, okay, celery. We can do celery. Right. Soup, brother. Top-notch, top soup item. Let's go to COVID is back again. Okay,
man,
all right.
COVID is like the Eminem show right now. Is that all right?
Okay, so here's my trip on COVID. All right, so when I left, COVID,
we beat it. Yeah,
was like, yo, man, like mass mandates had just stopped. We were still gonna. They still didn't like Newsom, but they were like, okay, it's fine. Like it's like
cool,
it's cool.
Right.
Everything's gonna be fine. And so we go on a trip, and then I mean because we didn't check the numbers, man. You should probably check numbers more often. But we were on vacation, so we were trying to not check numbers. Yeah. And so I checked numbers, and I'm like, what happened, guys? And by the time I get back, people are like, "Where's your mask?" I'm like, "What happened? Wait, when I left,
I trashed it in July.
It was fine." And then so, dude, help me out, man. I've been in the dark. I've been in the blind. I can tell you from my perspective of traveling, gas stations didn't care that I had a mask. And then when I started coming back, it was, if you don't have a mask, you don't get gas. I saw a sign that said it. If you don't have a mask, you don't get gas. I was like, ma'am, I would like to have some gas. I mean, I didn't care. I need gas. Yeah. And so tell me, brother, what's the COVID 101 down here?
I mean, it's the more things change, the more they stay the same. You got every time we open it back up or reduce some of the restrictions, people start to intermingle and we start to pass this thing around again. And the concern is now, and you got kids, so you can better speak to this timeline than me, but now kids are starting to go back to school. And kids, under, I don't know what's the age, 12 or under, 16 or under, whatever the age is, these dudes can't get vaccinated.
Right.
And so now they're, like the flu. Your kids go to school, they pick up a bug, they come home, you get it, your wife gets it, and that's how it spreads.
Right.
And then, your wife goes to work and so on and so on.
So on and so on.
And so that's what they say. That's everything I'm reading. That's what they say is happening, is that now the children are the ones kind of leading this new surge and spreading it around a little bit. And then also you have to add in the reduced restrictions, summertime coming to an end. So people trying to get that last hurrah in, starting to, whatever, go to a party, this or that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's back. We're probably going to be back to, I know here we're back to mask indoors.
Uh-huh.
They said it crowded outdoors. You should wear a mask as well.
Hmm.
And then they're advising you to look at the numbers and see whatever the percentages are, and determine if you're in a high risk area,
Right.
then you should mask all the time. And then obviously everybody should be getting vaccinated. That's a whole other issue.
We're not we're
Because
not
we have
we're
this
not in the
whole
vaccination conversation. We're not there. Go ahead,
Right,
but
that's a
yeah.
whole other issue.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it, but
Yeah.
you have that as a separate thing where
Uh-huh.
people need to get vaccinated.
Right.
But people also need to educate themselves on what the vaccine is designed for, because I'm starting to see a lot of negative energy towards people being excluded because they're not vaccinated.
And yeah, I feel like me and you touched on this early in the vaccination passport.
Yeah.
And I think I said it when I said slippery slope. I said I really don't give two cares about the vaccine passport. I don't care. I just feel like it's a slippery slope once we decide to draw a line, and then we ask everybody to either step over it or stand behind it. It's a line when you start drawing lines, and then when you make it too convenient for humans to do things like a passport, well, where's your thing? Well, how come you don't have it?
Takes me back to the Salem witch trials, bro.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and
I think I started out in disagreement with you.
Right.
We might have to go back and listen to the show, but I think at the time I was thinking passports were a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
But I've come around to your point simply because the data has come out saying that vaccinated people also transmit the virus.
Right.
So knowing that, now you're just getting vaccinated to protect yourself, which you should.
Right.
But I don't think we should separate people.
Right. The problem is that we should separate people. The problem the problem is we should separate people. I mean, if we were dealing with puppies, because we're going to go back to your parenting analogy, if you were dealing with puppies, you would put the vaccinated puppies over here, and you'd put the non-vaccinated puppies over here, and you'd be fine with it because you're in control.
Right.
Right. But we're not in control. Are we? We're not in control. Even if we think we're in control, we're not in control. And if you think you're in control, you're definitely not in control. So the problem is because we should be in this puppy segregated idea, but we're not puppies. We're people. We're not allowed to talk to our kids like that, dude, even though we do. So the problem is that since we're there, and we know that this is going to spread, we look at transmission. We're like, okay, it's going to spread. Why? Because we didn't separate, and we didn't segregate. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. Right. Okay. So then where does it leave us? It leaves us to a position of judgment, right? And now the judgment is coming with a line and a passport and a digital ID and a yes, I can, and no, I can't. And I'm a vaccinated individual, but I very early saw that it was going to be unfair for those who were unvaccinated. And I say fair. I'm not saying just or righteous or nothing. I'm saying fair. They are not going to treat you fair. I've been treated unfairly many times in my life. I know what it feels like to be treated unfairly. And they are not going to treat you fairly because we're in a should problem. Well, they're going to look at you as, well, you should. And then you're going to say, I disagree. And that's where it's going to, that's where it goes. So, again, I'll go back to our old one, which is just, passports. I have no problem with them. We have vaccination cards. I had to show mine at the border.
You got to show yours to get into school.
So it's fine. I just when you make things too simple for people, they just abuse them, and then it's a can't get gas without a mask. It's
Right.
But well, sir, I will hand you a mask. Fantastic. We're working together because I want gas, and but no mask.
Want my money. I want your gas.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen. One last thing before we get off of vaccines, because I read this interesting Twitter thread, and this dude was saying that every 100 years, almost to the date, there's pushback on vaccines, and he traced it back to I think it was the 1600s. It might have been the 1700s,
I
but
was gonna push back and be like, vaccines been a long round for you to have seven. This has happened 700 times. This happened. We've had it for 700
no,
years.
like 300-400 times,
Okay, well,
like
three
or
times.
300-400 years.
Three times.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
four. So four. So four
three times,
times.
4 times.
Okay. All right.
Excuse my math.
His
New
pattern.
math.
My point was his pattern is low. That was my point. His pattern seems very low. But go ahead. Four
Well,
hundred.
every 100 years for 400 years. I mean, come on now.
Still, I mean, I don't know if I'd swing
Still
it.
small sample
It's
size.
still small sample
All right.
size.
Well,
But okay, I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm for
the
it.
gist of it was
Uh huh.
in the 16 or 1700s, whenever it started,
Mm-hmm.
this slave was given to this leader in New America,
Okay.
as part of like a tithe or a debt or whatever.
Okay.
And this, I really should have pulled this up. We can dive into this next time. I'll get the details correct. But
But the gist of the story is,
yeah, but this new guy who now took possession of the slave didn't like him because he was smart. The slave was smart,
okay.
and smallpox broke out. And the slave told the dude, "Hey man, back in Africa, what we would do was cut into the smallpox blisters, take a small amount of the virus,
Mm-hmm.
and then inject that in other people, and then they were cool." And the guy's like, "Fuck off, bro. You're just trying to kill some white people. I'm onto your game. It's good try, but it's not gonna work, homie."
Right.
And then a bunch of people died because they were like, "Fuck this. This guy's just trying to kill us."
Right.
And then enough people died. They're like, "Wait a minute, maybe we should try this." So they try it on like I don't know, 68 people. Again, I'll get the details correct
Sure.
next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I'll have my data
Probably
correct.
67. That's fine.
They try this on 68 people. All but 4 of them are cool. And so they try it on more people. More people are cool. Eventually, smallpox goes away. And this town where this happened, and I read this after I got back from my vacation, happened to be Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And then every 100 years,
Uh-huh.
there's some other example of pushback, and then science being like, "Nah, bro, this works." And then the people pushing back dying, and then enough people dying where they were like, maybe we should try this one thing.
So
and then less people die.
How close to the birth of vaccinations is your smallpox story?
I mean, it's like the origin story.
Is it? I mean, is it
It's
like?
the
Is it like?
superhero Marvel?
Yeah. That's,
origin story.
Is it like the? Is it like? Is it Neo? Is it Neo? I mean, we're talking.
It's Morpheus.
It's okay. Okay. This is okay. All right.
Because then that dude went and started the first ever vaccination clinic. And then homeboy who he told it to went and started the first ever hospital. And then homeboy who he told it to was Ben Franklin or some shit. Like, it ties all the way into the founding fathers.
Wow. Some national treasure shit with a little bit of black peanut butter and just it's got the, what is it, Wakanda Forever in there. It's got everything in there.
I think it's Black Panther's origin story. Actually.
yeah.
Maybe I should watch the movie again.
Yeah, sure. It's got everything in there, bro. Jeez. Wow. Okay.
But so it's always in the beginning of the century.
Okay. Wow.
For 400 years.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I his numbers seem, I get it, but I mean, I think pushback on vaccinations are just going to be a thing because telling someone to believe in air is easier than telling someone to believe in a vaccine. I
mean,
it should, but you tell them air is in front of them, and they're like, I can't see it, and they're like, no, but it's breathe.
But my pushback on your statement is that these people are saying no to this vaccine, but yes to all these other potential means of eradicating the virus, like ivermectin or hydrochloroquine or fucking D vitamins or whatever. So it's not that they're not willing to believe that there's a treatment for it. they are just staunchly against this one treatment, and
Right. Right.
it seems to fall under party lines,
Well,
which is where I get upset.
again, party lines are great. Everybody should party. Okay, you guys should figure
Yeah.
out. You guys should figure out that's what a party's supposed to be. But that being said, I don't think that. I think that the belief in microbiology for some is hard to comprehend.
I mean, it's hard to comprehend for most.
No,
That's why
right,
none of us
right,
are
fine.
virologists or
Right, exactly.
immunologists.
But my point is because a lot of us, refuse, can't, or won't. Whatever, find yourself in the belief
Sure.
system, right? In the microbiology, then if you can't believe it, understand it, touch it, make it real, then maybe you're wrong. And there's too much of that available to people, which is called maybe you're wrong. And then, and so people, I feel like once the microbiology is in front of them, like, you know what? You leave your superheroes to you, and I'll leave my superheroes to me. And I'm like, okay, fine. I mean, the debate is low at that point. But
I mean, there should be no debate because nobody's going to change either one's mind on either side.
I hope that's not true. I hope you're wrong.
Of the scenario
I hope you're wrong.
giving.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope we change the minds, dude. I hope we finally go. I hope they get the aha moment and they go, you know what? Or I give them one of two. Either aha or fuck it. I'll take either,
Yeah, I will take either.
I'll take either, man. But until they do or don't, I'm gonna stand here and be like, I still want to talk to you. I still want to have a conversation. I still want to engage with you because I'm on the hope side. But anyways, we're on the vaccinations. We should be on the
enough
exactly.
about COVID. So anyway, COVID's back.
COVID's back. I think it's a weather thing.
You have a recall to that. Right? I don't want to put you on the spot.
No. I can't. I mean, okay, because you have to be the voice of the people. You have to be honest for what the people are saying. Okay, and usually, the party lines, like you said, are pretty well divided out there, and the people are upset with Newsom. I'm going to be honest because I talk to a lot of people. I tend to be a person that people like.
What are the people upset about? Because I'm not in California anymore.
Right? They're upset, dude, because we live in a state where actions actually happen, okay? When people drove around, they would tell Dwayne, what? I can't drive around past 10 because I don't want to get pulled over and not be allowed to be on the street.
Because I'm black.
No, exactly. Because I don't want to get pulled over because I'm not supposed to be on the street. There's a 10 o'clock curfew. And I was like, bro, they don't care about you.
Right.
Like, if you were on the street causing problems, you're going to get noticed.
Now they're going to use the curfew.
Absolutely. But if you are going to get milk or gas or do
your
thing, you're cool. But again, because Californians are realistic, they didn't live in the 80s as a brother. They didn't live in the 90s as a brother. They don't already have this, like, no, man, just be cool. They don't have that in them. They're just trying to follow the rules. And the rules, dude, were tough. If you were following the rules, if you were living inside the box had some, like, what is it, 6 sides to it, and it's cube.
Hectagon?
Yeah, it's a cube. You got 6. It's dice. I had to figure it out with the dice. 6 sides to it, and so I mean, it got tight. It got tight, and it was a long time. And Californians are used to being outside with people, doing stuff, drinking a beer.
The whole point of being in California is to be outside.
Whole point. And if I'm being honest to my Californians, because I disagree with their intentions of removing Newsom. I think that he was a guy who was in charge, not a guy that we elected to be in charge for this particular event. And I think that he had to pull triggers. And I think that he screwed up once publicly that really hurt him. No one forgave him for it when he went to dinner. And it was
you fucked that one.
No, yeah. No one forgave him. Like, he apologized. Quick.
Yeah, but no, you can't. You can't.
No one.
You can't be like, everybody stay home.
Right.
I've got reservations.
That's my homie, and he's 30-50, guys. It's a big deal. What, honey? What? There's a lot of people here. It's fine. Don't worry. But and so you got yourself in hot water. And so I think, in my personal opinion, granted, the public will use anything to get rid of you. Okay, anything. Right. But I think he put his foot in hot water. He couldn't quite get it out, and the restrictions were rough. We need to blame someone because it's not COVID's fault. And I think that I think that's one side of the people being mad. Now, you want to talk about the party? I think it's a party push.
Well, a lot of people who are not in California
Right.
don't realize how Republican California is.
Okay. Right.
Like the major hubs,
Right.
LA, San Francisco,
Right.
largely
Democrat.
Democrat.
But
Everywhere
it's a
else,
big state.
mostly
It's a
Republican.
big state. Yeah, it's a very,
Yeah.
very, very big. It's a very, very big, very big state. And if you live in, how do I say, whiter areas? If you live in whiter areas,
Rural, I think is what we're saying.
no, because not the rule. I'm talking about like the Yorba Lindas,
Oh, all right.
the Newport
Affluent, is that
beaches.
what you're going
I
for?
don't know what I still call it white areas. I mean, but
Yeah,
the
I
you
mean, you
know.
can call it white areas. It's fine.
All right, so the Yorba Lindas.
I'm just trying to see if you're trying to use white as,
No, I'm trying to use like wealthy white.
yeah,
I'm just.
affluent. So you want to say
What's the word?
affluent?
What's the word?
Affluent, affluent.
I am fluent, affluent,
Yeah, there you go.
affluent,
Perfect.
affluent.
Yeah,
Okay.
affluent.
I say it with a French
I
accent.
speak rich.
Yeah, I speak French. Affluent. Okay, so the affluent folk. Then I see a Republican Party usually follow in those corners. Okay.
Yeah.
But where there are people, the people tend to be in the Democratic Party. But that being said, the state is very big, very, very big. I've driven every major highway up and down it, and I guarantee you go through a city, you leave a city, and then you return to the country. And there's a lot of country in California. There's a good song for you. There's a lot of country in California.
Yeah, there you go. We're gonna work on that after this.
Oh, but so the people, dude, to be honest with you, we're not cool with that. And COVID happened, and we got our kids and they're in school, and we're used to something. So I feel like, because I wish I could say I know, but the problem with when it's a party push, the problem of when it's a party push is that your party doesn't know how to talk. Your party just says what you say, and then I don't really know what the problem is, because all they do is repeat what you said, and I'm going, well, what's the problem? Well, the problem is what that guy just said. No, I heard what that guy just said. Tell me what the problem is. The problem is what that guy just said. But I'm talking to you, bro. I understand what that guy just said, but tell me what the problem. You tell me what the problem is. I don't really know.
It feels like
That's a party push.
what I imagine based on my childhood and growing up. It feels like being a parent talking to your kid and like trying to get, like, they messed up and you're trying to get the information there.
Absolutely.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
But Timmy did it.
Yeah.
But Timmy said,
all day.
I don't know.
All day.
You're like, no, I just tell me the truth. Just
Yeah.
give me, look, I just want this to be over as much as you do.
Yeah.
Just give me the truth so we could deal with it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You were there. What do you mean you don't know?
So I feel like there's genuine what's the word, upset with the way that he has him and his group have run things. I think genuinely people are upset, and I also feel like the party is in a position to push. If this was a 49ers game, and I saw the ball and we were close, push. Everybody push. Yeah, we might have a shot. Well, why wouldn't you? But politics should never be played like games. These are real people. These are real lives. Stop it. But that's what I feel like is going on here with that one. Again, I say this, dude, because, all people like to talk. Yeah. And for some reason, like I said, I'm out in the street and people just talk to Debo. Oh, wait, let me hear it. Let me see what's going on. And a lot of them were upset with Newsom. I wasn't one of them, but it doesn't matter if I am or not. I mean, if I'm going to report what I hear, more Newsom nuisances came to my ear than anyone praising this man. And so in that, in California, we'll kick you out. I'm gonna be honest. We've done it before, and we'll do it again. In California, we know that we have enough people that will sign a petition to kick people out. That's just real in California. You have to know it. So, we'll see what happens today. We'll join that question in a minute. Newsom giving you good luck. But other than that, who's next?
If he doesn't get, well, they know who's next. I can't remember the dude's name, but it's not a good. It didn't appear to be a good option.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, just the whole thing's a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's very few politicians who, regardless of what level of politician you are,
Uh-huh.
who have enough positive appeal to survive something like this.
Yeah.
Like generally, if you get put up for this kind of thing, that's gonna be tough going for you. Like you're usually on the way out.
Right.
And if this dude isn't on the way out, then are we gonna have a recall of the recall? Are we gonna have an audit of the recall? Like this, it's starting to get a little crazy.
I can remember maybe it's just an old man's game, but politics was never a thing. But I mean, obviously, it's always been a thing. Obviously, if you do in your history, but it's just to me, politics gotten.
Well, I talked about this on one of our other shows when I broke down how Reagan changed the fairness doctrine, and so now you were no longer required to report, basically, in shorthand, the truth. You were no longer required to report both sides of the argument, and so that's when you started getting, the cable news, and I'm not going to pick a side. You started getting cable news on both sides.
Okay.
You started getting the left-leaning cable news.
Right.
You started getting the right-leaning cable news, and they only report what they want to report, and they only on this side report what they want to report.
Yeah.
And now you've had 40 years of that evolving. In the 80s, they weren't quite sure how to do it. Cable was still new, and subscriptions were low, and it got bigger and bigger, and more advertising dollars and more money got put into it, and with more money, now people have their opinion.
Right.
Look, I'm going to give you all this money. I want you to say what I want you to say. And
very true.
And it started, and that's where you started getting the extremes, and that's what I think you're talking about.
Yes.
Whereas before, it seemed like, yeah, we mostly agreed on the same things, but we disagreed on how to get there.
Right.
Is what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't even agree on the same things.
Right. Yeah.
And then the people who do agree on those same things don't agree on how to get there.
Yeah.
So now we're splintered in so many different directions. It seems like there's always something. We're always talking about some issue.
Can I tell you what Canada's view on it was?
I would love to hear Canada's view on it.
Jeff, I'm going to shoot Jeff. Just shout out Jeff. I think his name was Jeff. Pretty sure it was Jeff. I got his card. I'll double check if I'm wrong. Nice guy, buddy, friend, pal, that chatted me up in the parking lot. He said he's written 2 books. And I had a little card on him, but anyways. So Jeff,
what are his books on? Do you know?
He told. I mean, it was a long.
He told you, but you don't remember.
It was a long conversation. That's why I got the card.
I mean, are they like books on different types of birds in the Vancouver area, or are they books on politics?
They were either on politics or psychology. They were in between there.
Okay.
And so, I don't want to quote my man, but I had a nice chat with him. It was nice to get a Canadian's.
You can paraphrase. What was the gist?
Let America figure it out, and we'll be here. Make sure you guys keep enough guns to protect us. We're cool. We're gonna have a good day. Nice job, buddy.
Right.
Not really our fucking problem. Not really. You know what I mean?
It's not.
It's not really. No.
It's like if your neighbor's getting a divorce and you're like, hey man, you want to come over and have a beer?
Everybody.
I'll give you a beer. Bro.
Everybody tiptoed on wanting to, and I do this too, so I understand why they do it. Everybody tiptoed, wanted to see what you felt about Trump before they said Trump's name. It's like Voldemort and shit, Yeah. It just fucking, he will not be dead. So what do you think about that guy? They want to hear if you say, oh, they're really cool. They want every time. They all sit on
Let me pull out my MAGA hat real quick.
I just want to know. What side do you stand on? I just want to hear your opinion. It's all of them. Every Canadian would not say pro or non-Trump.
Did you come across any Canadians who were pro-Trump?
No. I did not. But they really were on the fence of really trying to see where I was before they. But anywho, it's not our problem, buddy. I mean, it's we don't really, we're not really doing the military thing over here. And by the way, nice hat. We're just gonna have a good day. You know what I mean? Like, I mean. it more. I feel like they watch us like we watch MTV. You know,
I agree.
they, they just are like, oh, this is some shit.
This
right
reality
now.
show is fun. I don't learn anything from it, but man, it is fun to watch. It's like how my partner watches The Real Housewives. It's like this is just a disaster after a disaster. Everybody's yelling at each other.
That's
I cannot turn it off.
Yeah, it's so real. But that's kind of was my take on it, man. You know, I mean, they all. Matter of fact, I looked when I left. All of the Canadian flags that flew had red stripes and white stripes. No blue one in between it. No, you know, it was the same flag. Everybody flew the same one. Come back in America, you know, the flags they get
different strokes for different
strokes for different folks. Now, I keep asking myself, but which one is for the Americans? You know, I mean,
well, we don't have. That's the thing. We don't have a flag for America.
Yeah,
we have a flag for America.
That's right.
But then we have a flag for patriots.
Yeah,
we have a flag for what? I don't know. Antifa. We have a flag for BLM.
Everybody's got a
flag for "Don't Tread on Me."
Yeah, everybody.
We got the Southern flag.
We got California flag.
We got California. Every state's got a flag.
Every state's got a flag. But Anaheim have a flag. Orange County got a flag. Willow Street got a flag. You know what I mean?
It has a seal. I don't think it has a flag.
To me,
logo.
I think I touched on this before. Being a Mariner at heart, you know, and flags being what they are. You know, as a Mariner, you fly a flag. It's real.
That's your shit.
That's your. I mean, bro. I mean, they started it. Crips and Bloods. They tried to throw one flag, but that was it. Like when you're a Mariner, you have to translate messages.
But even the Crips and Bloods branched out, and then you know you got purple flags, and green flags.
Exactly. But
it's like, hey man, we're red or blue, bro.
And so when you're out there and you're flying your pirate flag, or you're flying your different flag as a Mariner, man, you're on water. There's no law.
That's it.
There's no maritime law. That's the law of maritime. So that's what flags are for, and that's what flags are being flown for. Because when you fly a flag, you're saying more than you know you're saying. So, as me being a maritimer and traveling and seeing flags flying upside down, half mast, sideways, different colors, less stripes, less stars. What the America? And the Canadians are just going, same leaf, kind of looks like Bud. You know,
looks like Bud. Maybe it has some maple syrup on it. We don't know.
You know, have a beer, buddy. So you know, their particular take on us is more comedic to them in the sense that you know you guys should really figure this out.
They're not stressing on it.
I wouldn't say that. I think they're stressed because you know when your neighbor's stressed, I mean it doesn't make things at home any easier. You know. Because you gotta always have a conversation about what's happening at your neighbor's house, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's the neighbor getting a divorce analogy. You hear them arguing,
right?
You're trying to sit down at the dinner table, you hear pots and pans being thrown.
Yeah,
you're like, man.
Yeah. So
should we go over there?
What do we do?
Nice.
Yeah, but
let's invite them over for dinner. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, and which by the way, Canadians will still earn their stripe of being very polite. I was approached more in Canada to say, hey, buddy, than anywhere else on my entire travels. The whole time I was out, Vancouver, heck of a town. Some guy just let me dive. You ever walk up to a complete stranger and give him your life story in about 10 seconds and just see what he does with it?
I mean, I have.
Yeah, it's right. Well, I was out. I'll tell you a little bit about my trip. We were out in Vancouver. Vancouver, nice place. Having a nice park. I
love Vancouver.
Oh my God, so gorgeous.
I was only there for I don't know 2 or 3 days, but
yeah,
it's beautiful.
We a lot of people rent scooters. We brought our own push scooters. Okay, nice. Right. And so we've got our own. They got the goods. They're not the little wheels. They're the good size wheel push scooters. So you can give one solid push. You can get around town on these bad boys. They're nice. Real cheap Walmart. One for the whole family. And Daddy's got a pink one. We're ready to roll. Okay.
Nice.
So here we are. We got these scooters, man, and we go around their park. And we make about half around the park, man. This park, if you're on wheels, it has a one-way direction kind of situation. So you're going around. Okay, you're going around. You don't have really a choice.
Is that the park? It overlooks the water. The big. I think it's a lake,
It's
probably.
water. It's the ocean.
This is the
It's
ocean.
the ocean. Yeah, it's an inlet. But yes, it's very similar to that piece you got there behind you, actually.
Yeah.
But
When I stayed in Vancouver, our hotel, well, it was an Airbnb, but whatever, it overlooked that.
yeah, that's a nice, this gorgeous view.
Yeah.
And so we're riding around it, and we get about halfway, and I recognize now the park's too big. Like it's
Yeah, we're not making.
we're not doing the park. I'll get on a scooter. I'll run back, grab the car, come back, pick you guys up. There's lunch right here. You guys sit down and have lunch and ice cream. Daddy will get the car. We'll make it happen, right? And as I'm pulling in and I'm putting the scooters away, a guy's like, "Nice scooters." I'm like, "Yeah." You know, I got the whole family here, man. She's I start,
Alaska,
Alaska.
Anaheim.
I start just vomiting my whole trip to this guy. Yeah, and who's gonna think of that? Yeah. Well, who's got that, man? Oh, I bet you got to think about that, don't you, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The whole time he's just chirping me on. Yeah. Well, you take care, man. You work that out, man. Okay. Take care. All right. I was like, thanks, because.
An hype man.
I had to get that out, bro. Like I had to tell somebody my troubles. I had to tell somebody my strengths, my weaknesses.
I'm making around this park, bro. I
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah. I had to just, and someone sat there and just like chirped me on. Like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Well, you get it done. I was all right. And I was in a parking lot, really close to Vancouver, Seattle. And I was looking, doing one of these, where you're looking left, you're looking right, you got your keys, mask, wallet, what do you got, right? And some brother looked at me on a bike, and he was like, "You ready?" And I was like, I was trying to be honest. I was like, I'm getting there.
He's figuring that out.
Yeah, you can see that on my face. And you looked at me square in the eyes, like, "Now get there." I was like, all right, thank you. Yeah, I needed that. Yes.
Thanks,
all right.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, I need someone. Hey, what? Lock it up. Thank you. Hey, thank you. I was a little discombobulated there for a sec. So, folks up there up north, real nice. Gotta give them a shout out. Thanks for being someone to talk to. Y'all all up north, Canadians, and the one Seattleite was a lot of fun.
Or you want to keep going on your trip, or you want to?
We were on.
Because I have questions about Alaska.
Well, we'll go ahead. Well, let's close out the soup real quick, because the soup was. I think we had one more thing in the soup.
You want to talk about the great pullout?
I got to talk about because listen, man, when you're traveling and you see news, it'll change. This, and then we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about this. But when you're traveling and the headlines don't change, you pay attention, because you want to see what's going on. I read what guys, what we do, what we doing, we all together, what we doing, what's going on, And I started seeing a lot of word about Afghanistan, and talked to my buddy, my friend, out there in Vancouver. He said, America's doing a thing again. Don't worry about it.
America's doing their war thing. It's cool.
And I was like, "Oh, so it's not a big deal?" He's, "No, it's not a big deal." Okay. I get home, I talked to a neighbor.
Huge deal.
I get to talk to a neighbor, and my man had 4 flags. He was like, "Yo, it's a deal. It's a big problem."
Huge deal, bro.
And I'm like, "Okay."
What did your neighbor want to happen, or what was his biggest concern?
Biggest concern, obviously, that we've lost service members. 100%. The biggest concern from his mouth was, so, hey, man, what? When we lose those who we ask to step in front, it pisses us off, because we asked them. We don't force here, And
right.
So I think that most red blood, are we blue-blooded, red-blooded, green? I don't know. Blooded
I think we're
Americans.
supposed to be red-blooded Americans.
Okay. White-blooded, no, it doesn't sound right, because technically it's the color. Blue-blooded because of the inside. Okay.
Well, blue bloods are like the inherently wealthy, like the ruling class.
Americans.
Everybody else is
can I say
red-blooded American?
Can I just say Americans with blood and a heartbeat? Okay.
I mean, you can say that, because blue bloods are more like the British.
Okay. Whoever on the us team, okay?
Yeah.
Whoever on
American.
the America.
America.
Yeah. Who's ever on the us team, it pisses us off, because we know it's a choice. And if
Right.
you've got a friend or a family member or a
You
cousin,
chose to
loved
do
one,
this to protect the rest of us.
and the rest of us appreciate the shit out of that, man. And
Yeah.
so the first thing that pissed him off, which rightly so, and you asked it, I believe, is that those who we asked to do a favor for the rest of us got hurt, and that's always a problem in America. That's
Always.
always
100%.
so. My man in Vancouver, it's not a problem for him. Respect, but he's like, it's your problem.
They don't do their war thing over
Right,
there.
exactly.
They're just like, hey, bro.
Exactly. We tend to do the war thing here, probably better or worse than everybody else. I probably say both are true.
I think both.
Both
we
are
do
true,
it better and worse than everybody
That's
else.
right. So we definitely get pissed off when the Patriots lose, but we really get pissed off when we stub the Patriots' toe. And so So I think that, to answer your question, that was his first. But dude, I'll be honest with you. Debo's still sitting mostly in the dark, brother. I've not watched a CNN headline. I have seen the president say we won't forget, and he looked a little tough.
And we'll,
but I mean, the president never
retaliate at our time.
Yeah, the president never really gives me as tough. I'm not mad. I mean, he should put her up there, and I'm sure she would give him a tongue lashing and be like, "This mother," But
I mean, nobody thinks Joe Biden is coming from a place of toughness. I don't think his staunchest. I don't think Jill Biden thinks Joe Biden is coming from a place of toughness. But that's fine.
That's fine.
You don't need it. We're not. Yeah. This isn't barbaric times when we send our leader to go do the battle.
Very true.
You don't need to be the tough guy.
Yeah. Well, our leader doesn't need to be the tough guy. Our leader doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
He's got a tough guy. So
doesn't need to be the tough guy. You need to be the smart guy.
Right.
You need to be the guy who makes the right decision when it's really hard to make the right decision. That's all we need from our president.
Now let me ask you:
make the right decision when it's hard.
Let me ask you this, and obviously, dude, it's your choice. Did the president make the right decision? Is that a popular, unpopular question today? Did the president make? I
think it's probably being asked by everybody, regardless of whether you voted for this president or not.
Okay.
Maybe they're not asking it today, but they have over the last week or so.
I'm out for a month. I can ask.
I think the president made the right decision because, like your neighbor, I don't want to see our Americans die in Afghanistan when they don't have to.
Yeah.
So by ending this war, hopefully, and it sounds like we attacked them today. We may continue to attack them. By hopefully ending this war, less brave men and women who stood up and were like, yeah, I'll protect y'all, are going to die. Less of them are going to die.
Okay, that's
if we end this war.
Because again, I'm getting pieces. Did he make an unpopular decision?
I think in large part, most people agree ending the war is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling out is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people who disagree don't like the way it was done.
Okay.
And they think it could have been done in a manner to save more American lives and leave Afghanistan in a better place.
So I
don't follow warmongering well enough to know, but I do know that this war started 20 years ago, and we are now fighting it for a different reason than we were fighting it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And we need to just
step
put
back,
our hat and coat on, and exit. just like, hey, catch you next time.
Yeah, I mean, and so the unpopular decision that I started hearing is that, like you said, the way they pulled out, the decisions that are made in wartime to how to pull out and
but the thing is, we've learned. You look at Vietnam or other the first Desert Storm. We've learned that there's not the way war is done today.
Mm-hmm.
Is different than the way war was done. World War I, World War II, War of 1812. Previously, when we had different technology, there was a definitive end to the war.
Right.
You killed everybody.
Yeah, it's definitive. All right. They gave up, or they died. Is one of the.
They died.
They were either a new country. Yeah,
winner,
exactly. It's always a W.
We're gonna plant our flag here.
Yeah.
And it's settled.
New flag.
And
new flag.
War with the flag.
Yeah, that's right.
We planted this one, and war isn't that way anymore. War doesn't end anymore, unless because if we were to kill everybody there,
right
now we're going to get into another world war.
Right.
And we don't want that. Nobody else wants that.
Well, we don't want to kill everybody there.
At some point, somebody has to be the person to say, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah.
We're done here.
Are we done here? We're done here. Guys, are we done here? We're done here. We're done here, guys.
Pack it up. We're leaving.
Wrap it up, B.
This argument is going nowhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
We'll regroup.
Uh-huh.
And it is what it is. Now the problem is Trump had made some deals during his administration. And Biden is trying to hide behind those deals and say, well, there was nothing I could have done. I had to do what Trump promised him, which we know isn't true because he didn't do anything else that Trump promised.
Okay.
But I'm still on the side of let's end wars, period. Let's just end it. Let's be done.
Yeah. I mean, what is Monday quarterback?
Monday morning quarterback.
There you go. That's the guy. Hindsight's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
We all get to make a decision now that someone had to make before us, and it's way
someone
easier.
Had to make in the moment.
And it's way easier to see the. We could obviously see the guy sneaking up from the side now.
Well, we've seen the results. And now you can be like, oh, well, I would have done.
Okay, right, and so now it's time to criticize, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, let's talk about who we are. We're still the MTV to the Canadians, okay?
Well, to that point, real quick.
Yeah.
To that point, isn't real strength making a decision that you know is right in the face of criticism? People say, oh, I even said, I don't view Biden as the strong one, but now it's time to criticize.
Yeah.
Biden made this decision knowing he was going to be criticized.
Well, I mean, okay, that's fine. And I agree. You still got to make better decisions than non-better decisions because people are going to line them up 1 to 10 and they're going to say, see here around 5, you could have started making better decisions here.
Yeah.
But you decided your dominoes were perfect, so you went all the way to and so now we're debating your decision. Hey, you made it, and I'm not
comes with the territory.
Comes with the territory, man. I mean, no one gets to go back and debate my decisions. Okay, I don't have to sit a panel in front of me, and we don't all have to swear our oath and look each other in the eye, have glasses of water in front of us, and be like, "Hey, man, you made a decision? Yeah. All right, let's talk about it." Fuck, I'm just gonna make a decision. I'm gonna go on with my life. But other people have to make decisions, and then on Monday morning, we all have to sit around and enjoy the soup and talk about your decision that you made because it affected us. That's it. That's all. I mean, my decisions don't usually affect others. I mean, my kids don't like them sometimes.
Right.
But
your household.
My household. Right,
is about
exactly.
the extent of the effect you have.
So the house has to come to order and have a conversation about what happened. And that's okay, guys. Good, bad, ugly. Okay, the house will be in order, okay? And that's what the house is for. I believe he made a decision, and again, I'm still getting pieces. I should go back and read reports, but I don't read well. I believe he made a decision to pull out. I believe that's what
always
happened.
A smart decision.
Always, yeah. 10 for 10 right there, bro.
If you have an opportunity to pull out,
there you go. All right, good job. We're gonna give him that one, okay? After the decision to making to pull out, people got hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a. Okay, that's the bad decision.
Not popular.
Not popular. Okay. Not. People get hurt when you make a decision. It's never going to be a good thing. Now the question is, we're going to look at you like, could you have made a better decision where people wouldn't have got hurt? Right. That's what we're going to.
Or less people.
Or less. I'll take 0. But yeah, if you could we have gone 11, right? Because you're at 13. Could it have been 11? Yeah. Could we have done it with 5? Could we have done it with 1? Because we're all trying for 0. Okay.
Right.
If you'd done 0, we probably wouldn't be having the conversation. Okay, but there's 13. So
if you had done 0, there's probably no conversation at all at this point.
Right. But we're not. We're not at 0. Okay.
Right.
COVID killed about how many?
And when it comes to people's lives, 13 is a long way from 0.
And COVID killed how many?
600,000 plus.
But we're at 13 service members because these are our volunteers.
Nobody volunteered to fight COVID. Well,
Nobody,
people
right?
did volunteer to fight COVID.
Yeah, okay, different story. Different story.
Yeah.
Similar lines. But my point is, we're gonna ask of him, and I'll ask it of anybody who they put in the chair. Hey, man, could you have done this differently? And I'm sure a person in that position would be like, yeah. I can show you right. I can show you here where I could have done different. I can show you here where I could have done different. I can show you here. Would the results have been different? Absolutely. But this is what I did.
Yeah.
This is the lane I chose, and I'm sure you got your. And I'm sure he's got his reasons.
This is the information I had at the time. This is why I made the decision.
Well,
and the decision's made.
We have to leave the room and say, "Well, sir, you need to make better decisions." We can't leave the room when you leave blood on the table and say, "Sir, nice job." We can't. It's not how we work here. We leave the room. We say, "You need to make better decisions." You know, I heard the new New York governor, Cuomo, I think his name was.
Cuomo.
There you go. I started watching a lot of him, and I give him, for whatever he's got going on in his life. He has a fun political career that goes one way or another. He's got a lot of things going on for him. But I like the fact that he always stepped up and said, we didn't do a good enough job because we didn't get it 100%. And we need to do a better job because you expect more of us. He would say that at the most end of his things.
I mean, you're talking about when it comes to COVID.
He was just I'm talking his speeches, okay? I mean, I don't, yeah.
But when it comes to his sexual harassment lawsuits,
I'm not. We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about the way my man ends speeches, okay? We're not. Me and him are cool. I'm going to define his cool way to end the speech. There you go. And so he would say, we need to do a better job. We didn't do a good enough job because somebody got hurt. We need to do a better job. Period.
Yep.
No reflection, no debate. And I think that, that's the only excuse you can give in a situation like this. Nope. We got it wrong. Why? 13. You know, if we'd got it wrong 12, we'd have got it wrong 12. Until it's 0, it's wrong. And we have to forgive you because you're the person in the chair. This is why I feel bad about Newsom. We got to forgive you because you're the guy in the chair. However, we have to talk about it because it's our house. So, and
both are true.
Yeah. So
we understand you're the one making the decision.
Yeah.
And ultimately we got to ride with your decision.
That's what's real.
But hey, bro, we want to speak on it.
Yeah. But anyways, there's the soup, brother. I mean, I wanted to get a little bit of inside of tactical information.
Well, real quick on the pullout.
Yeah.
We've been at this for 20 years. Do you remember why we even, because I had to think about it. I was like, man, 20 years? What have we been doing there for 20 years?
Is 9/11? We in Afghanistan for 9/11? Yeah.
9/11. And then Bush came out and was like, hey, bro, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda planned 9/11. And we know we need to get into Iraq and some of these other places, but homies are in Afghanistan, so we're going to go to Afghanistan. And we have not left. We've caught bin Laden. We got Saddam Hussein, right?
Yeah.
And we were just like, it's cool. Bush was done with it by 2003, was done with Afghanistan, but we stayed.
Americans are good at building in.
Yeah, we were trying to install a Western government, democracy.
Yeah.
And give women freedoms that they previously didn't have, and build churches and schools, and it didn't go as planned, because you can't always go into someone else's house and make it your house.
No, and Americans sometimes, not sometimes, some Americans have not figured out that philosophy. We have a good philosophy, but guys, we can't always just walk into other places and plant a flag. It's not appropriate. We have to.
Look, you go in someone else's house and they tell you to take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Don't say this is what we do in my house. Just take your shoes off.
But in my house, we don't take off my shoes, man. This is rude.
My house, I put my shoes on the table. That's cool, bro. You're in my house. Take them off.
And at our house, we like stinky feet. So come on with the stinky feetness. Yeah. All right, we don't mind your stinky feetness, bro. Come on with it. Yeah. So yeah, man. Soup day is not always my favorite day, but I mean, it has to be done.
Well, we haven't had a good soup in a month.
Yeah. Well, it's just definitely juicy and tender, juicy tender. Well, can we get it? Let's go. Can we let the soup go? I wanted to get G's perspective on the pull out, but we'll get that next time. We can get to Alaska. We can end out here in Alaska.
Do you wanna? I know. Again, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
We can get to Alaska.
Okay.
Do you want to call the show's favorite veteran, LA's premier boxing trainer, and see if he has? And just put him on the spot.
I mean, yeah, I think
do we have the technology available to do this at this moment? We can do true and false and come back to it, or we can do it another time.
You know what? We're gonna try. Let's try the technology. You never know technology if it works.
We're down a producer today. We're down a sound guy today.
Yeah. Debo's doing a lot of this on his own. So let me see here. Let me call the dude and see if the dude goes through. And if the dude goes through, that didn't sound like the dude went through. Yeah, that sounded like the dude didn't go through. It's got to be this one though. Yeah, technology, y'all. Technology. So, dude, I believe. As I plug up the phone and I try to get the hotline working, I don't believe we have a hotline. So we should, but for some reason we don't. So, yep. Oh no, this is a dude. Did you go roadshow, bro? Where you at? Where you at? I clicked 2 buttons. Wait, dude lost a camera. Debo's out here on his own. Oh no. Yeah, I guess I think I hung up on everybody. All right.
Am I back?
Oh, there you go. Oh, did you try to answer the phone?
I answered the phone.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. So yeah,
I was talking to you.
Were you were
on the phone?
But nothing was happening.
I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know until you said we lost the dude, and then I hung up.
Oh, yeah. It's because I was talking to you on air, and I didn't have the dude on the side. So yeah, I don't have the
hotline. No hotline.
No hotline. I think the hotline.
We need a sponsor. If we had a sponsor for this, we could have the technology.
Probably if we had a sponsor.
Where's AT&T? Sponsor our hotline. AT&T, Nextel, Sprint, somebody.
We just need help. Is basically what the dude is basically saying.
T-Mobile.
Somebody got
Cricket.
to do something.
There's got to be a phone company out there who can get us a hotline.
We can't put them on that because we can't call them on that one, huh? Yeah, it'd be nice.
That's right. We'll plan it.
Yeah, and then it'll work. Oh, it stopped humming. That's a good thing. Yeah, it stopped doing it. Well, maybe.
Are you wearing a crop top? Are you bringing it? It's hot guy summer.
I'm not wearing a crop top.
Bringing that midriff in. Should I answer this or no?
Okay, yeah, you can. There you go. Oh, we got the hotline. Look at that. They're the ones for the other one.
Do you want me to answer it?
Yeah, you can answer it.
All right. This is the dude.
See the dude? All right, so let me give him a call. We can because the hotline works. So you wanted to get LA's premieres. You way do better Steve's intro than I do. I script Steve's promo all the time.
Well, let's see if he answers before I give him a promo.
That's a good point.
This is good. This is good radio right now.
Because I'm pressing buttons.
This is what happens when we don't have a producer or a sound guy.
All right.
And Debo just got back from vacation yesterday.
Trying to press buttons and stuff, man. Trying to call people on the spot.
Different countries,
trying to get things
states,
going.
26 days, road show.
Never know, man. You never know.
What time is it? Is my guy at lunch right now?
Could be.
This is Sucker Free Steve Gomez.
Oh! Yo, LA's premier boxing trainer.
Hello.
Bringing him in live, kid. What's up with you there, Steve? Steve.
Hello.
Yo, Steve, you got us, kid?
You're on with Sucker Free Steve Gomez. Who is this?
This is Debo.
He doesn't hear us.
He doesn't hear us. Oh, man. See? I told you the technology's no good.
Shame.
I know,
What
man.
a shame.
He's trying.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's about the
All right. See? Yeah. See what you got me over here doing, dude? You got me calling him, making him, pressing buttons and stuff, man.
He thinks he's getting prank
He thinks he's getting prank called. See, you got me.
We just wanted his insight as a veteran. We wanted to thank him for volunteering to protect us.
Yeah. And see, he's gonna call me back, and he's gonna be mad at me.
He's gonna call you right back.
And it's gonna be your fault. Yeah, it's gonna be your fault because he's gonna be like, "What the heck?" I figured out what happened though. My question is, should we call him back?
Let's do it one more time.
You sure?
Because I'm not close enough for him to punch me. He can still drive to you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna. He can't. Cause the mic. Okay, so I got him. But then the mic he can't hear. But that should be everything. Should be. I don't know, man. I don't. Should I do it again?
Let's go one more game.
If I get hit, then that's gonna be on you.
Taking it for the team.
Yeah.
I feel like we're pot committed at this point. We gotta get him on. Our 6 listeners have already fallen asleep.
Steve. No. Oh wait, Steve. Steve. Oh, he can hear me finally. Yeah. So
I can't hear him.
Yeah, it's fine. I can hear him though. See, and that's why
Okay.
I made it all work. Steve, are you there, brother?
I'm here.
What's
happening?
Dude, we were trying to get the phone line working, and I went old school and did speakerphone on the microphone. You know, yes, you got, technology works for you.
Welcome back to America.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm gonna push a button, and you're not gonna hear me anymore. But I want to ask you a question. I know the dude wants to ask you a question because we're talking about some real shit. The shit that we're talking about, the dude, give me the 1-2, dude.
We're talking about the great pullout and what our veteran thinks about how Biden has ended our 20-year war in Afghanistan.
All right, so here we go, Steve. It's a 1-question shot. You're gonna get about a minute. It's all your mic. We're gonna give it to you open. You can't go back and forth because of technology reasons. We'll figure that out in the future. But I'm gonna tune you in, kid. And the question is, the great pullout has just happened, and we just want to get a veteran's take on what has happened. Dude, when I mess this up, let me know I'm messing this up. And we want to make sure, we want to get your take on what happened here with Biden. What did I miss?
On Biden ending the 20-year war.
On Biden ending the 20-year war. You up for that, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Steve. If you stop hearing me, that's because I've punched you in. Are you still there? No. See, I do that. Okay. Can you hear me?
You
Okay.
punched him out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Okay, so I'm gonna punch you in, Steve. And then.
Can you give me a countdown?
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did it work? No. I'm gonna throw him on speaker.
You should just
No,
keep him on
I'm gonna
speaker.
speak. Can you hear him on speaker? I'm gonna leave him on speaker because you can hear me here. All right, Steve. We can hear you, and I got you in. So what's your take, kid, on this Biden situation, this pullout, this end of the 20-year war?
Man, what a tough situation. Man, I don't know. It almost seems like it was a lose situation. I mean, we pull out, and then we're just giving Taliban and ISIS like a whole country to work with and stuff, and I don't know. And then we got rid of our base. We got rid of Bagram. Before we got done doing what we're doing. That was probably a mistake too. It's good that we're ending this war, but like I said, it's just we're just giving up land and pretty much resources to them so they can kind of rebuild and figure out how they're going to get us now. And then now I'm seeing that they acquired all of our stuff that we've left, like all kinds of weapons and tanks and helicopters and shit, and that ain't good. And then I don't know, and then we had to go back to get these people, and we're pretty much limited on soldiers and stuff to get us through, just to get everyone out of there that needs to be getting out of there. And it's just really a messed up situation. And I think, feel bad for Biden because he didn't start this whole negotiation with the Taliban. It was the last dude, and he gave up 5,000 prisoners, Taliban prisoners that were bad people that were blowing up shit, unnecessary killing innocent people and stuff, and that just kind of left Biden's hands tied, I feel like, and Biden's like, let's get out of there. There's no point of us costing any more lives and taking any more time. And now the Afghanis that we supposedly train, they don't want nothing to do with fighting the Taliban and protecting themselves. So they're they're out of there. they're on the first flight. They're out of there, and they just let the Taliban just take over their country, and it's like, well, what the hell, man? I thought that was part of the deal, that we were supposed to train these guys so they could be independent, and then now they don't even want nothing to do with it. So it's like, now what? I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't know, man. I mean, you'd hate to see those guys rebuild and get some, get power and create another, something bad happening to us or anywhere else, anywhere. But it's like, what do you do? Do we set Bagram back up, and our scope now is to watch the Taliban? Or do we, we obviously, it didn't work, us training the Afghanis that aren't part of that. They don't want to defend for themselves. So that part of the scope is out the window. So what do we do now? We just the world police and have to set back up there. So those ISIS and Taliban guys don't, but how do you do that? How do you, then people could be up in arms in that. So it kind of seems like a lose-lose situation to me. It's a bad situation overall. Heart goes out to those families that lost the 13 Americans and everyone else. So
Steve, I can't thank you enough, man. You said
great.
Wasn't that fucking perfect, man? So the dude's been. Thank you very much, Steve. Let me say that first for your insight, man. I mean, I know the dude has been shaking his head right with me. Fist has been in the air for most of your speech, there, kid. But I think because Debo came back, and I was blackout, like complete information blackout. I had nothing. Dude was trying to explain it to me, basically of just what went down. I've been trying to get little bits of information, but I think Steve said it best, man. And
absolutely.
I think me and Dude been trying to mess with this for like 10, 15 minutes. I think we finally phoned a friend to make this happen. We're just 2 seconds from getting out of the show, Steve. But we had to get somebody who was a veteran that we respected to get some insight on this, man, because we just didn't feel qualified to speak as.
Because I ain't fighting.
Because Dude said, because I ain't fighting, you know what I mean? So,
I appreciate the thought, man. And yeah, I thought about this a lot too when it was all going down, and you try to hear different sides of it, and a lot of people, the thing to do is the finger point and everything, and it's really just either way, it's just a tough situation, and right now it's just all happening now. So you give sorry, I'm gonna make one more point. You give the Taliban and those people, you give them like almost a year to prepare for this takeover that's going to happen because the other guy made the deal, and so you give those guys time to prepare. Of course they're going to blow through and take over every city in Afghanistan, every province in Afghanistan in like 2 weeks. They've been planning it. So it's like, we're kind of set up to fail in this one, and it was just, like I said, it's just some bad moves, and I don't know. It's just a bad situation. But I appreciate you guys thinking of me and reaching out and wanting to know my take on it. And I was just happy to, give that point, because I don't really talk about this stuff. No one really asked me too much about it and stuff. And but thank you.
Dude, did you have one more question for Steve? I'm sorry, I was coming back to the screen here and I saw. You waved me.
I was just
your fist. Oh, your fist was just pumping.
Fist.
Okay. Your fist was pumping. Okay. All right.
I'm doing it right back to him.
All right.
Same team.
Well, it's absolutely same team. Well, Steve, I'm gonna get the phone line working first. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. And then once I get that going, we're gonna get you back on the show, man, because we have a lot to divulge in this corner. And I don't think it's gonna go anywhere anytime soon. So we'll get you back. Thank you for being on the show again, man. I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, for sure. All right, dude. Take it easy, dude. Debo, glad you're back, man. Glad you're safe.
Appreciate you, man. Peace.
All right, later.
So yeah, there it is. Got that. Debo got that to work.
Worth it. That was worth all the trouble.
I think it was, man. I think it was absolutely worth I think he said it better than we attempted and failed.
Absolutely. We put him on the spot.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for 10, 15
minutes. Yeah.
Put him on the spot, and in 30 seconds, he said it better than we could have.
Sure did, man. So I'm going to leave that with that. I'm not even going to try to attempt to mess with that anymore. Should we go ahead and just start sliding out of here? I tell you what we're gonna do, dude. I'm gonna give you 5 questions about the trip. All right, I'm gonna give you 5 questions about the trip. Your questions I will answer. It's lit.
I ask you.
You ask me. That's right. It's lit or what are you smoking? And I'll try to divulge those to you best I can. So just so we can, just a little bit of Alaska trivia here, or road trip trivia and all. But go ahead.
It's not going to be an open-ended question. It's just it's lit or what are you smoking? So I can't ask you like what was your favorite part of
right. Exactly. You gotta throw it. It's lit or what are you smoking at me? And I'll try to maybe open up on that for you.
All right. It's lit being true.
Correct.
And what are you smoking being false?
Being absolutely false. Absolutely false.
It's lit or what are you smoking? You saw a bear take a shit in the woods.
Oh man. That's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? What are you smoking? Yeah, what are you smoking?
Right.
Because I saw 6, 7, 10 bears, bro. And they could have been taking shit.
You don't know.
I don't know. But in the first time in my life, I saw a grizzly bear or a brown bear. And I've seen black bears. You know, black bears are very common, and they're smaller bear. And so, but this time we were driving down the road, and the grizzly bear, he looked like he was eating berries. Could have been taking shit. I don't know. And he was chilling on the side of the road, and he was big. It was a big bear, and that was a lot of bears, bro. Yeah, a lot of bears.
Big bear chase me. Big bear chase me. You remember that from The Great Outdoors?
No, I don't. Our tour guide talked about 2 stories where bears chased him. Yeah,
I mean, he made it. He was your tour guide.
Yeah, I guess right. I guess that I wasn't really worried about the story. He's like, so bear chased me. I'm like, so it worked out. But tell me the story.
Go ahead.
Tell me the story. All right. But yes, no bears taking shits in the woods, but definitely bears in the woods. All right. I grew up my whole life. I never packed a weapon my whole life.
Yeah.
I never got out of my car without a knife. Not like it was going to do a lot. Okay, bear. But I wanted something.
Telling anyone to be careful. It's sharp.
Yeah, I did. The bear. Be careful, bear. Be careful, bro. This was sharp on you. Yeah. So bears are real. Yep.
All right. It's lit or what are you smoking? You chugged an entire maple syrup bottle while in Canada.
I didn't even see maple syrup as a thing. It wasn't even, I saw the Canadian flag. I tested for COVID both times to go in Canada, but not one iota of maple syrup. But I will say
Did you eat in Canada?
I did eat in Canada. I ate, several times.
Still no maple syrup.
Jimmy Jones. I don't know. This is like a donut sandwich shop. It's very popular. And A&W, whether you know it, is really big on the road. I don't know if you know A&W. Have you ever been to an A&W?
I've been to it. I'll tell you what.
Okay.
The last time I was at an A&W,
you're on the road.
It was across the street from LA's premier boxing trainer Steve Gomez's house.
Okay.
And we were over there, for a fight probably, or maybe poker night.
Could be.
And I needed to grab a quick bite to eat.
A&W?
Around the corner, I saw an A&W. I was like, how often do I see an A&W?
Not very often.
Not very often. I'm going to go here.
If you're on the road, you see 5 chains. 5 chains have made it, guys. 5 chains have made it through COVID. I wanted you guys to know this out there, all right? A&W is one of them, all right?
Would not have been in my first 5 guesses.
Who else do you got? I'm telling you right now, they made it.
I mean, are we going like McDonald's? Obviously,
McDonald's is obviously in the top 5. I'm talking 5 made it. Okay, give it to me.
I mean, I feel like McDonald's, Carl's, and Wendy's are all in there.
Sorry. No. Carl's is on like a suggestive. You can add it in, but only major cities. Taco Bell.
We're talking. Oh, Taco Bell.
I'm talking made it, bro, because I've been to places where gas stations shut down.
Are we talking just drive-through, or are we talking sit down as well?
Well, I mean, like when you're on the road, a town pops up, bro, and so you're like, town. What do they got?
Yeah,
they got a McDonald's.
All right, they got a McDonald's.
They got a McDonald's.
They got a Taco Bell for.
They got an A&W. And you wouldn't have thought that in a heartbeat.
I wouldn't.
You
No,
would
it wouldn't have been in my guesses.
I guarantee you they got an A&W, and they got a Taco Bell, and there's 2 more, and it's not Carl's.
It's not Carl's.
No.
It's not Wendy's.
Wendy's gets another
Honorable mention?
honorable mention. Absolutely, Wendy's is doing okay. It's Taco Bell, A&W, which you would never have guessed.
Burger King.
McDonald's. Burger King is gone. I don't know.
Burger King's dead.
Whopper is out. Wendy's is doing better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Burger King's not even honorable
No,
mention.
no. Sorry. Didn't even see it. One of so many
What about,
impossibles, couldn't even hit it.
What about like a Rally's?
No. East Coast. Sorry, I went up. I was staying west and going north. So Rowley's is going to be
Running out of things.
your east side.
Well, I mean, in California, In and Out.
But in California only, sir.
Okay. What else?
Taco Bell,
What else
McDonald's,
is,
A&W root beer,
McDonald's,
Jack in a Box is
Jack in the
doing
Box is
well,
good.
my friend.
Yeah.
If you can't find a McDonald's, you can find a Jack in the Box.
You can always find a Jack.
They're in the same town. They're in the same. You can find them right there.
That's 4.
Yeah. And the only I'll throw this one in the 5. You never get this one. This is I don't even know the name because I got to go ask the
Stew
wife.
Plantation.
Yeah, nice. Jimmy Jones, something
Jimmy
Haynes, Jones something. I don't know what it is. It's
Jimmy
Haynes.
John's.
Is Jimmy John's? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Donuts and sandwiches.
I didn't know they had donuts.
Donuts and sandwiches. And they are the other one that is absolutely everywhere. I went from California to North Dakota, on through Canada. The Yukon is real, and then on to Alaska. And I saw those 5. I could always depend on whether you want to or not. McDonald's is there. We got to figure out.
Did you eat at Jimmy John's?
I ate at Jimmy John's. Yeah, I ate.
What did you get?
Donuts and a sandwich. I was like, give me one of those and give me some of those. Thank you. That'll work. All right. Anybody want anything? And they was like, no. I was like, well, I guess I got me a donut and some sandwich. All right. But yeah, man. A&W, you would have never thought.
No, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Is prime. I mean, McDonald's, then A&W on the road.
Wow.
Yeah. Hands down. Maybe Taco Bell, depending. But I don't think
just for A&W to be in the same category as McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Taco Bell.
Who would have thought?
Like, I don't know how many guesses it would have taken me to get that.
Too many. Yeah. I thought I'd enlighten everybody about the A&W situation.
Wiener Schnitzel, I would have guessed before.
I didn't even see one. Not one wiener.
because they're done.
Yeah,
It was long gone.
One more. Let's do one more. Maybe 2 more about Alaska.
One more.
Okay,
One
here
or
you go.
two more.
Here you go.
You got It's Lit or What Are You Smoking? You got pulled over for DWB on your trip.
Ooh, that's a really, really good one. I really like that question because the answer is no. Okay.
Oh,
the answer is no. I did not get pulled over for a DWB, but here's the.
You were in a lot of predominantly white areas.
Yes. Here's the trip, and I almost want to put this down on record. Okay. I've been pulled over for a DWB. I couldn't tell you how many times because I guarantee you it wasn't recorded.
Right.
Okay? That's how many times I was pulled over for a DWB. And it's in my psyche. Okay? It's definitely in my head. It's what you call that systemic racism. It is something that I can't shake. I can't shake my rearview mirror because I know there could be a cop behind it and he's running my plates and he just wants to know if he can pull me over.
Right.
That is I'm ready for that. I don't have tinted windows on my front. My wife does. Why? Because I don't want to give them a reason.
Right.
I want them to have to come up with a reason. I want to hear it in their speech. The dog's unreal. So this is what I wanted to give you about the DWB, son. All right. Now you go from here to Calgary. That's a major city in out there, and then Edmonton is the capital, is the big town. You leave Edmonton. You got a day before you get to a place called Whitehorse. Okay, and you've started to enter the Yukon. Okay, the Yukon.
Whitehorse just sounds racist.
Yeah, but probably some dude rode in on a white horse, and that's as far as that damn thing made it. Okay, it is a day's drive from the next major city, and between that city and that city is nothing. Okay, we were coming south. We went from Whitehorse to Smithers. Is a nice little city town. From Whitehorse to Smithers, a 15-hour drive. Okay,
Jeez.
exactly, 15-hour drive. There is nothing, my friend. There's not a wire above you. There is not a sign to the left of you or the right. There's no exit. It's just a road, sir. And occasionally, humans settle around water and create a village. But that's about it. It's nothing, okay? It wasn't until I reached the Yukon till I stopped checking my damn rear view mirror. It was in the damn Yukon where I crossed water buffalo and grizzly bear before I saw another human. Where I stopped worried about a cop pulling me over for the color of my skin, purely. And that's what I want to go on record for, man. No, I didn't get a DWB, but it wasn't until the Yukon till I stopped looking behind me for a DWB. Yeah. But that's real. That's the Yukon. I was telling somebody else about it. You know, like between Vegas and California or Los Angeles, depending on how you look at it, it's about a 4.5 hour drive. And in between there, no one really talks about it. It's a place called Death Valley, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you've done the trip from Vegas to California, you know about Death Valley because all of a sudden the spot hits where there's nothing and you recognize driving on the road's a real thing. Because you know if you don't have water, enough gas, you're screwed in Death Valley. Yeah. Like it's a bad place to be pulled over the side of the road. But at least
called that for a reason.
It's called Death Valley for a reason, right? But at least in Death Valley, if you were to like raise a hand and wave for a while, chances are another human being would come by and you could get help. Maybe you never.
Well, only because they're coming from Vegas or going to Vegas.
Right.
If you eliminate that city,
right,
then you're just dead in Death Valley.
Exactly. The Yukon is like that for 2 days. Two days of that kind of stretch of nothing of sheriff. What sheriff? You got to get someone in the town to have a sheriff. You can't have no. You mean speed limit? Speed limit? Someone's got to come out here to track my. No way. Stop it. There's nobody. There's no dividers in the middle of the road. There's no road. It's just go. And it was there when I finally felt like, all right, no one's chasing me. You know, no one's coming after me for the color of my skin. No one's going to pull me over just to be like, what are you doing here? Because we're here and you're here and we just want to know what you're doing here. Now, if someone would ask me that question, I might give them a better honest answer. Well, I'm sure I'm here for this reason. But that's not what they do. License, registration, tax. Well, you know your tax expired. You got to get out your car to check. What? My tax expired? I thought I paid my. No, they're expired. So anyway, sir, you know, pulled you over. And that happens because it's happened to me. It's happened to me 100% of the time. And so anyways, I lost that feeling, man, that loving feeling in the Yukon. And I gained, just a lot of animals. Crossed a buffalo in the middle of the road and stared my wife down. I wasn't driving. She's freaked out. That was kind of crazy. But anywho, no DWBs, brother. They all let me ride. Last question. We got to get out of here, and we got to go talk to G, see if he's done with the VA. Last question, brother.
Do you? It's lit or what are you smoking? You're going to watch the movie Into the Wild now that you've returned from Alaska.
Wow. What are you smoking? Because nothing, bro. 5D is way better than 2D. And I seen a wolf. Okay, we had a debate. Is that a dog?
It's not a dog.
Is that a dog right there? Is it? And we were like, maybe it's a dog. Because we kind of drove away, and then we were like, who the hell would have their dog out in bear country?
Yeah, it's not a dog.
Who would just leave their white fluffy canine to roam around in bear country? Guys, pretty sure that was a wolf. Because no one lets their dogs out. No one lets their dogs out. Everybody knows there's bears. And so we saw what I mean. So after seeing a lot of the wilderness and getting out of the car and feeling uncomfortable, I got out of the car and felt uncomfortable like I was in the hood and didn't know it. Like, oh, where we at? Oh, we cool.
I keep my head on swivel.
Yeah, I was like, and that was a trip to be out there like that. So.
Last one, not what are you smoking, just a direct question.
All right.
Because my partner and I were talking about this and trying to figure out at what age this becomes tedious more so than a fun adventure? Did your kids enjoy it?
A lot of setup to a question. Okay. Did my kids enjoy it? I would have to ask them. I was going to 100% myself. I was going to go ahead and be like, of course my kids enjoyed it because I
did it. Of course they enjoyed it.
I even asked them personally. I wanted to get my own surveys out. Guys, I was like, this is how I asked. I said, guys, was Daddy nice on the trip the whole time? And I got back. That's what I got back. That was my feedback. So you're going between annoyance and enjoyable.
Well, so let me give you a little bit more of the background. Right. So we were talking. We both thought this would be incredibly cool.
Right.
Obviously, neither one of our parents did something like this for us.
Right.
My dad, you well know, the cowboy took us camping.
Woo!
Your dad, Pops, took us fishing.
Right.
We got the nature.
Right.
But we never got like this kind
immersion.
Of road trip.
Right.
26 days in the van.
Right.
And we were thinking like, yeah, it would be awesome. And then we also thought, probably right around 12 or 13, I would not have wanted to do this with my parents.
Right.
And I would have been pissed about it. And I probably would have been a dick for like 14 of the 26 days. Now, I know your kids are younger than that, but it's also a different generation.
Yeah. Yeah. My kids are in my control, which are like, let's say I'm Oz. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm completely have them in my Oz. Right. I have a nephew who's about 14. Okay. He's not in Oz anymore, bro.
No.
Screw you, Dad. He's in that. Okay. This guy lifts weights. I saw this guy shove his dad because he was being funny, and his dad flung across the room. I was like, it's not funny anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he's got you. So my point is, you're right. It would change at a certain level. But I hope, and I mean this, that it wouldn't have mattered because, this trip, man, my kids had to play video games and sit in a car, and it wasn't sit in a car and they could lay down. It felt like a lot of the time, and I kept telling this to them, they're like, I don't get it. It felt like we were in a train car because we had 4 seats, two that face each other, right? We have 3 beds to the side of that. You can lay down. You want to take a nap? Take a nap, lay down. And a TV with video games. So, and a restroom right around the corner. So if you need to do anything, it's here.
You're good.
Other than that, let's get out of the car. And we bought those scooters. So that we showed up in Banff, Canada. And if you've never been to Banff and you're out here in the Southern Cal, Banff is a whole lot like going to Lake Arrowhead. Very much similar feel of being in Banff. But the difference is it's about 4 times as pretty. It really is. It really, really, really is. Instead of like snow-capped like mountains, it's snow-capped Alps. Like it's just different. The water was turquoise because of the silt in the glaciers that were. I mean, it's gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
So we got there. We busted the scooters out, and we did an hour worth of scooter riding around the town. Normally this would be in a stroller because my kids would be younger, right? We just go push them around in a stroller. But we just all went around scooters, and I think, again, we were talking about would your kids have fun at a different age. If you apply it to them at their age, you meet them where they are, then you don't hit the annoying stage of my nephew who would probably be like, whatever, I don't want to do this, it's dumb, right? If you're like, okay, bro, you don't have to get out, but we're going to go do this thing. Okay, cool. You can sit here and be on your phone and be with your friends and do the networking thing. But I think if you forced a child on this trip and be like, no, you're joining me on the scooter ride in Banff, bro. Now get out of your chair and come have fun with your family. I think you did that, you're missing the point. It's his vacation too. He's getting away from everything in life.
Hey, bro, they got a gym and steroids here.
Yeah.
You can work out.
You can work out, bro. Go hit your thing, bro. It's fine. And so for us, because they're still under the Oz control, they just kind of went along and do along with everything we do. They had everything they needed, so I think they had a pretty good time. My kids are not used to staying up late. I'm pretty strict about bedtime because it keeps my kids on a very up schedule. They wake up easy, and I didn't as a child. But Alaska doesn't care, and it doesn't get dark until midnight.
Yeah.
So that was a little difficult, and they got to enjoy that thing of it. But to more answer your question, though, dude, the age of friendship without parental interruption, whatever age that is for the individual child, is the age that this trip would have been a different trip, because they would have said, I'm missing my something and you're holding me back from that. We're at an impasse and we have to have that conversation as parent and, whatever. So my kids had a great time the whole time. They really, really did. They went to the Seattle Space Needle and had lunch. Had lunch up there with a glass chair. They went to Vancouver. They had a good time because they, like I said, they're young enough to where most days are fun. Let me put the straight context though for as a kid being a kid, right? Last day of our trip. Last thing we're doing, you know what Zivo decides? You know what, guys? Even though it's an 8-hour drive to get there, and they don't open until 4:00, we're going to go ahead and go to Great America as our last day. As being completely exhausted and tired. You guys want cotton candy and popcorn? We're going to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. No problem. Last day, never been to Great America up there. It's basically, Six Flags, but a little smaller version. And they're not even open during the week, bro. And they're not even open till 4 on a Friday. And so it's a very small park. We had a great time, We went on every ride that my littlest one could get on.
Yeah.
But my oldest one is older. And at the end of the night, the conversation was there. Well, I'm not happy because we didn't go on the ride, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And here we are.
The big kid ride.
The big kid ride. And I'm thinking to myself, this whole trip is ruined because of the big kid ride,
Yep, it is.
Hey. Oh well.
No big kid ride.
Don't care, bro. I'm sorry. There's 3 of you, okay? There's 3 of you. You don't want to go to a big kid ride? And sure enough, as we come back down, passing Magic Mountain, I'm like, you want to see a big kid ride? Now that's a big kid ride. Look at that. Oh, we could do, of course. But a lot of times in raising kids, you have to recognize that they just want what they want. I mean, they're visual and they're quick. And so they'll just, it's the last thing. I want a cherry. No cherry? Then the ice cream is ruined, And kids do that a lot. So,
right.
But they I think they had a good time, bro. I think they they won't know they had a good time until about 5 years, and people have told them they must have had a good time, right?
And they're like, "What? Your dad did what?
Yeah.
Your parents took you where?"
Everybody we talked to on the road thought we were crazy. It doesn't roll off the tongue. I drove here from California with my 3 kids. What?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Say what? Yeah. But no, everybody thought we were, yeah. But
you
it was
guys dislike Gavin Newsom that much?
We were out. But yeah, man.
On the recall.
Yeah, exactly. We did out before that. Dude, we did an extended version tonight.
We should split this in 2 parts.
Probably gonna not happen, but what are you gonna do? For those of you guys that care, Monday at 10:00 is the next time this is gonna happen. Chances are we'll probably won't do anything we said we were gonna do either. So vote for us.
Back to our regularly broadcasting schedule.
That's right. Dude, you got any? I got a couple of shout outs. I'm gonna shout out Jeff. I'm gonna shout off the homie at I think his name Colin. I don't know his name. But he hooked us up with Vancouver. He told us where to go to the seawall and check that out. So shout out to him. Appreciate him. Shout out to Jeff for the conversation, and shout out to all the Canadians there for being cool. You guys are nice. Shout out for Oregon for the weed. Thanks for being cheaper than Alaska, which was triple the price. And shout out to those who built the road to Alaska. Found out it was built in World War II to make sure that Alaskans could escape if the people were going to invade Alaska. They needed a place to come out, so we built a road back, and now I was able to travel on that on the way there. So I appreciate y'all.
That's cool.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for doing that. Those are my shout outs. This is Debo. I'm out. Josh, what you got?
I got shout out the bartender at the Black Rose in Boston. My partner and I have been talking about her basically since the trip. She was just cracking us up. It's different. It's a different vibe on the East Coast, and you really realize that they say what they mean, and they mean what they say, and they're not afraid to say it. And she was just calling dudes out left and right, and it was real entertaining. And her accent was like this thick Irish accent that I can't do, so you're just gonna have to imagine it.
I imagine it.
But it was like this Boston Irish accent of just telling people what's up. It was fucking great. And shout out Wayne,
All right.
the general contractor, who happened to be on the same flight as us from Vegas to Boston, which we didn't know, but we met him at this bar with the bartender who was calling people out, and he came and fixed our roof after we all got back to Las Vegas. So it rained. It rained. We had a roof leak. We contacted our landlord. She said, call X amount of people, get X amount of quotes.
Right.
And I needed one more. And we just met this random dude, happened to sit down next to him at a bar. He happened to be from Vegas in Boston. We worked out that we were on the same flight. And homie was like, yeah, I'm a general contractor. And I was like, do you fix roofs? I was like, yes, I do. Got his card, bada bing, bada boom, hit him up on the way back.
Dude's
Wayne,
doing the roofs.
Shout out Wayne for fixing the roof.
All right. Dang, bro. Making connections out there.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice traveling out there making connections, brother?
Dude, it's nice traveling.
Yeah.
Full stop, period. Just getting... COVID aside, like obviously with all the COVID issues and being on lockdown and stuck at home, it's nice to get out of the house. Obviously also with COVID, there's risks now to traveling and you got to take more things into account and your safety is different.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm sure, and this is again what my partner and I were talking about when we were talking about your trip, just getting to experience more parts of the world than where you are, than where you grew up. And getting to see different people and different cultures and hearing different accents and eating different food and picking up the history from wherever you are. I just wish more people had access to the funds it takes to do these sorts of things.
Right. The ability to travel and find these things out. Well, you know what? We're going to put you and I in the driver's seat here, brother, and bring some of these stories back to the Dude and Debo for people to catch it. For people to get some of it, man, because you're right. The experiences you get out there to sit at somebody else's table or just to have a beer with somebody, you never know. You just never know. I met someone, I didn't shoot her out. I shot her out top of Seattle Space Needle. Met a lady. She's like, I did the first CNN broadcast. I was like, well, then you should be doing the show. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
You meet people. And people they'll share their accolades with you and tell you where they're from, what they've done in life, and it's cool. It's really, really cool. Dude, we got to get out of here, brother.
Let's get out of here. I got one last shout out.
Boom.
Modern Bakery. You got the best cannoli. There's a big argument in Boston. Who has the best cannoli? Mike's or Modern? And for my money, it's Modern. Shout out Modern.
Shout out Modern. They got the best cupcakes. Don't even ask about it. Best cannoli. Best cannolis in, what was the name of the place again?
In Boston.
In Boston. That's right. You ready, brother?
Let's get out of here, man. It's been too long. I feel like I'm on a trip home from Alaska right now. Ready to be done.
Oh. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Drink up all the booze. Who let him in? And nobody knows. In the dark night, where you go, in all the blues. In the dark night, where is the blues? And the dark night.